Hello guys! In this episode, the Expo scandals of the past, including the recent one, the USA participation at Expo 2020 in Dubai was about to be cancelled.
Scandal? What scandal?
What you gonna learn from this episode? What happened to 5 tons of sand brought by UAE government to the exhibition to Hannover in 2000? Why Turkish ambassador requested Hannover Prince Ernst to apologize in front of the whole Turkish nation? What happened to official countdown song of Shanghai Expo 2010? And why USA participation at Expo 2020 in Dubai was about to be cancelled? Let's go! In 2000, the UAE was introducing its cultural heritage to the whole world and was fighting the stereotypes that people used to have in those minds in 2000 about Gulf countries, war, Iraq, Saddam Hussein, etc. etc. So the pavilion of the UAE at Hannover was built as the reproduction of the fort in the desert, with a local market, palms and walking path. For this purpose, UAE has imported 60 palms and 5 tons of sand. 5 tons of sand were brought by the private jet to add the realistic flourish to its desert pavilion.
What? What desert?
However, the sand was scooped by mistake and removed as a dirt.
Oh my god!
Another scandal happened at Hannover exhibition was on 15th of June of 2000, the Hannover Prince Ernst was married to a Monaco princess, whatever, to Monaco Princess Caroline of Monaco, was caught on the camera urinating at the Turkish pavilion. The German newspaper Bild published the photographs of him performing the unprecedented act. Imagine Germany had 2.2 million Turkish population diaspora back those times. The ambassador of Turkey to Germany requested immediately that Prince Ernst should apologize in public in front of all the Turkish nation for this act. Prince Ernst, in his return, admitted that he relieved himself publicly, but not on the Turkish pavilion or its soil.
It wasn't me. It was not me.
The Hannover Prince Ernst is quite famous for the scandals in the past. For example, attacking the photographer and smashing his camera, so he had to pay the fine of 30,000 euro. Shanghai Expo 2010. Official 30 days countdown song Right Here Waiting For You 2010, Jackie Chan sang the tune, was removed and withdrawn from the air after the following scandal.
2010等你来，世界拥抱在上海。无论你说什么语言，相聚时刻处处流光溢彩。
The melody appeared extremely close to the Japanese singer Mayo Okamoto's song Stay the Way You Are. The Japanese singer claimed the Chinese authorities to pay him $3.2 million as the compensation for his copyright. Expo 2015 in Italy. Italian police has arrested 11 people who were alleged in connections to mafia and to the bribery contracts signed for Milan Expo 2015.
I didn't say Italian mafia, I said mafia.
False invoices were used to create the slush funds, and then the money were moved to Sicily. The size of potential bribery contracts was about 5 million euro. Finally, USA participation at Expo 2020 in Dubai. So what happened? By December 2019, the USA was still not clear if they're going to participate Expo 2020 Dubai or not. By that time, it was still before pandemic, so everyone was expecting the Expo to start by 20th of October 2020. So imagine, 9 months to go and USA still doesn't know if they're going to participate or not. Moreover, the pavilion estimated timeframes of construction were about 27 months to build, so I don't know what they were thinking about. The estimated budget for participation at Expo 2020 for USA was about $60 million, and they simply didn't have that money. How come?
I cannot believe this.
How did it happen, and what's the reason of it? In 2001, US government decided they're not going to spend the federal money to international exhibitions and different types of fairs. And the money is supposed to be generated through the fundraising from the private companies. The reason being, there was a public opinion that expos is only waste of time and waste of money, so the taxpayers are not gonna pay for all this entertainment show which fails, so they decided, no, we're not gonna pay, whoever wants to pay, please. Expos in US were even mocked by the Simpsons cartoons back in the middle of 90s, which is, the episode was called Bart on the Road.
You promised to take me to the Apron Expo today.
So the money for Expo should come from fundraising from private companies. But such companies like Coca-Cola or McDonald's didn't want to be part of the USA pavilion at the Expo. They wanted to stand out apart with their separate brand. They didn't want to mix themselves with USA pavilion of American food. Thus, no cent was donated not from them, not from any other company. In summer 2019, the US government realized that something is wrong here and there is still no money. Since summer, they were trying to accumulate some funds for the participation in Expo 2020, but useless, until November. On November the 8th, 2019, the Secretary of State, Mr. Pompeo, expressed his concerns to the representative Nita Lowry. There is simply too much at the stake for the United States to participate at Expo 2020. In the absence of the United States, global rivals will tell the story for us, ultimately damaging our reputation, disappointing our allies, and emboldening our adversaries. He meant Russia and China. US government was trying to change its mechanism of funding the expos, however, the efforts were useless. They were trying to change the law where it would allow them to allocate the federal money to fund the Expo 2020. Thanks to the last-minute gift, USA will have the pavilion at Expo 2020. The UAE government agreed to pay for them as unconventional agreement to avoid the embarrassment of USA. For comparison, the government of New Zealand has allocated $40 million with a population of only 5 million people. China is spending on Expo 2020 more than $100. Of course, China is spending on Expo 2020 more than $100 million. I'd like to add, since I was doing the research preparing for the subject, the failing element also why US couldn't find the money and why the private companies didn't donate the money to the Expo. Because of the previous incident. At Expo Milan 2015, there was an American consortium that was organizing, it was the organizer of the USA participation at the Expo. So it was like a charity, non-profitable organization, and they hired the subcontractors like designers, constructors, all those private companies that spent millions and millions of dollars to build the American pavilion for Expo 2015 in Milan. The consortium promised to pay the invoices and to pay for the job that these private companies have done for the Expo 2015 after the Expo is over. When the Expo was over, the consortium announced himself bankrupt. So these private companies remained with millions and millions of dollars of expenses with zero payments. The idea of participation of US at expos just died there. I always feel embarrassed to say this.
If you don't want to miss
If you don't want to miss the next episode, don't forget to follow my channel and click the notification for it. Starting from next episode, I'll start highlighting which events were presented at which expo and which architecture memories remained after expos. See you!